The doors of Blythe Manor were locked from the inside, the windows unbroken. And yet, when the search party arrived that night, there was no sign of the lady of the house. Not a trace, only an eerie silence and a single blood-soaked letter. The questions were simple, but the answers, they were not. Have you ever wondered what secrets lie hidden in the walls of abandoned houses? What could drive an entire town to silence, whispering only behind closed doors? What would make a town forget a woman, one of its own, who mysteriously vanishes without a trace, leaving behind a mansion untouched by time, yet tainted by a darkness that still lingers to this day? Tonight, we're diving deep into one of the most chilling mysteries that has haunted the small town of Alderford for over a century. It's the story of Blythe Manor and the disappearance of its last occupant. Blythe Manor sat atop a hill overlooking the village of Alderford, its tall stone walls weathered by time, as though it had weathered storms far older than the town itself. With its towering spires and thick iron gates, it seemed to guard its secrets as fiercely as it once protected its inhabitants. The manor, despite its age, stood strong against time's wear and tear, its stone facade towering like a watchful eye over the village. But in 1927, everything changed. The last known resident, Lady Eleanor Blythe, was never seen again, and her disappearance would remain unsolved, her name forever whispered among the townsfolk as one of the most haunting mysteries of all time. Lady Eleanor Blythe was not a stranger to mystery. Born into a family of noble lineage, her beauty was said to rival the finest queens of Europe. But the house she called home, Blythe Manor, was as much a reflection of her inner turmoil as it was a physical structure. It stood cold, imposing, yet strangely inviting, its sprawling gardens seeming to stretch on forever, as though they were trying to escape its towering walls. But it was Eleanor's story that began to unfold in the shadows of the mansion. Widowed young, she became a reclusive figure, not seen in public for years. Her husband, Lord Adrian Blythe, had passed away under mysterious circumstances, and Eleanor, struck by grief, withdrew from society, taking to the isolation of the manor with only a handful of servants to attend her. Over time, rumors began to circulate in Alderford. The townsfolk whispered that Lady Blythe had succumbed to some kind of illness. She had become pale, withdrawn, almost spectral in appearance. Those few who were allowed to glimpse her described a woman whose beauty had begun to decay. Her features softened by time, her eyes shadowed with grief and secrets. But then came the night of her disappearance. It was as if the house itself had swallowed her whole. It was a night like any other. The wind howled, and the rain battered the windows of the manor. There were no unusual sounds, no strange occurrences, until morning. By the time the sun rose, Lady Blythe was gone. There was no sign of her in the manor. Her personal belongings remained untouched, her fine gown still hanging in the wardrobe, her jewelry untouched in its case, and most disturbingly, her bed remained unslept in. The manor was in perfect order, just as it had been the night before. The doors were locked from the inside, the windows secured, and yet, when the servants arrived for their usual morning duties, there was no trace of Lady Blythe. The only clue they found was a single letter, stained with blood, found on the floor of the drawing room. A letter that would send ripples through the town of Alderford. One that would make them question everything they thought they knew about Lady Eleanor Blythe. The letter was addressed to a name that no one in Alderford recognized. The message was brief but chilling. He will return. The curse is not yet over. Beware the eyes in the walls. Who was she speaking of? And why? After all this time, does her message still haunt the town? The search for Lady Blythe lasted weeks. Search parties combed the surrounding forests, the nearby rivers, and even the hidden caves beneath the manor. The town was gripped by fear, with people speculating wildly about her disappearance. Some claimed to have seen her face in the windows during the search, but when they approached, it was gone. Others said they could hear her voice in the wind, whispering from the walls of the manor. But when they entered, it was silent. As time passed, the investigation grew cold. Lady Blythe was presumed dead, and yet no one ever found her body. There were no burial records, no remains to be found in the nearby cemeteries. It was as if she had simply vanished into thin air. The manor itself stood as a constant reminder of her absence, the empty windows staring blankly into the village, as though waiting for her return. But the mystery of Blythe Manor didn't end there. You see, there's something that everyone in Alderford knows, but refuses to speak of the curse of Blythe Manor. Many say it was placed on the manor centuries ago by an ancient cult, a dark society that had operated in the shadows of the town, long before the Blythe family had ever arrived. But the truth, as usual, is far darker and more sinister than the rumors suggest. Lady Eleanor's family was no stranger to tragedy. It was rumored that her husband, Lord Adrian Blythe, had dabbled in dark rituals, attempting to commune with forces beyond our world. Some said he made a pact with something ancient, something powerful. It's said that he called upon spirits, forces that he did not understand, and in doing so he brought a curse upon his family. But in the end, it was Lady Eleanor who paid the price. On that fateful night, when she vanished, it was rumored that Eleanor had been attempting to break the curse that had haunted her family for generations. Some believe she succeeded, but at a terrible cost. Others believe she never left the manor at all. But what is truly terrifying is that those who ventured too close to Blythe Manor in the years that followed began to experience strange occurrences. The air around the house was thick with an unnatural chill. The very walls of the manor seemed to breathe, as if the house itself was alive. Some said they could hear whispers from within, soft voices calling out from the shadows. But the most unsettling of all was the eerie sound of footsteps, following them when they entered the manor. No matter where they went, they could hear it behind them, a soft, deliberate step, as though something or someone was following them. And when they turned around, there was no one there. As the years passed, stories continued to circulate, becoming more and more elaborate. The tale of Lady Blythe's disappearance became one of legend. Those who dared to speak of it would lower their voices, as if afraid that mentioning her name aloud would summon her back from wherever she had gone. Some claimed that Lady Blythe was still alive, her soul trapped within the walls of the Blythe Manor, awaiting release. Others believed she had become a part of the house itself, her spirit forever tied to the place she had lived and died. But the most chilling possibility of all is that Lady Blythe's disappearance was only the beginning. It was not just her that had vanished, but something far more sinister. Some say that the curse of Blythe Manor has yet to be fully unleashed, that someone will return, that the eyes in the walls are waiting, watching, and waiting to claim those who dare to uncover the truth. The town of Alderford may have moved on, but Blythe Manor remains. Its empty windows stare out over the village, an ever-present reminder that some secrets are never meant to be uncovered. Those who venture too close may find themselves drawn into the same fate as Lady Eleanor, lost to time, lost to the darkness, lost to the curse that has never truly been broken. And so the mystery of Blythe Manor endures. For as long as the house stands, the truth remains hidden, buried in the shadows of its walls. And those brave enough to seek it out may find themselves becoming a part of its terrifying history.